Look how cute these Christmas coffee cans are. I have a whole audience, I guess. Hi. I know it's been a while. It's been like 4 or 5 months, and I'm sorry, number one. I only took like a month and a half off initially, which I didn't plan on, but I was really focusing on starting my podcast with Sam. It's doing really well. A lot of you guys are loving it. That'll be linked down below. It's called Famished, and it's kind of like the most content I've posted in a while. It's over an hour's worth of footage and content every single week over on that channel. I've avoided filming this video because I'm never really serious on my channel. I don't like being vulnerable. I don't cry in front of people. So I didn't want to film this too soon where I would be a wreck for you guys, because I want to be that platform for you guys where you can just come and be happy, laugh, and forget about like all of like the negative things going on in the world, you know? I can't move on unless I film this video. Not that like I'll ever move on. Oh no. Okay. If you guys have watched me, oh boy. I waited 2 months to film this because I didn't want to cry, and I haven't even gotten the words out yet. If you guys have watched me for a while, you know that my cousin, my best friend, Adriana, she's actually my cousin. Her mom is my mom's sister. She is the closest person to me. We literally are like telepathic with each other. We are the same person. There's no one that knows more about me. There is no one that knows more about her than I do. She's been in so many of my videos. I spent her whole entire pregnancy with her. You guys know the deal. I thought I was ready to film this. Okay. On the night of October 14th, it was technically the morning of the 15th, Adriana took her own life. Ew, I'm such an ugly crier. First of all, I'm sorry for these eyebrows. I haven't gotten them done in like a month and a half. It's brutal. I'm really good at like disassociating and like putting things in the back of my mind and not talking about it and going about my day. But the second I start talking about it, this happens. And that's why like I spent like a month and a half just crying every single day. And I hate the term move on because I'll never move on, but I have to get to a point where life is normal again. And not posting for this long, I mean, it's by far the longest I've ever not posted. I just felt like I was still stuck in like the morning phase, and I am still stuck there. I don't know if I'll ever be out of that. I kept on saying like I feel like I can't post unless it's about Adriana. The last post on my Instagram is Adriana. It's been impossible for me to just film a normal video and just not acknowledge it, but also posting this, I was dreading. I don't want to sit here and talk about it for that long and just cry. I'm alone every single day. Zach works 12 hours. Spoiler alert, I moved to Florida in July. I had an apartment tour filmed and edited for you guys. I had a vlog for Sam's birthday filmed and edited. I had a podcast, Day in Our Life, filmed and edited for you guys. They're all scrapped. They're like 2 months old now, 3 months old. But I've been dreading this video, just so you know. It was almost easier at first because I had the shock to like mask all of the feelings and everyone was so in it. But then as time went on, everyone moved on with their lives, rightfully so. Good for them. These are, you know, more distant people. The restaurant Adriana worked at, Burrito in Port Jeff. You guys, first of all, it's an amazing Mexican restaurant. You guys should check it out. They closed for like 5 days. And they do business, but they closed for like 5 days for Adriana. That meant so much to me. That was so nice. A couple days ago, they held a fundraiser there. My whole family went. I wasn't able to go, which is devastating to me. But they held a fundraiser and they raised so much money for Adriana's son, Blake. And I want to do a GoFundMe that I'm going to link down below this. So if anyone wants to donate even $1 to Blake, just for the future, because now he's gonna grow up like without a mom. I don't expect to raise as much money as Burrito did, but even a little something would help and would make me feel like I've contributed. Blake's dad, him and Adriana were very cordial. They never had a long relationship. It was a mutual split up while Adriana was pregnant. He is like high up in the military and he spent basically Blake's whole life in Iraq. When he's not in Iraq, he lives in North Carolina. Blake and Adriana live in New York. Starting next month, Blake is gonna go live in North Carolina with him. Blake was a huge part of my life, and he's like what Adriana left behind. I feel like he's like not gonna know me, and I'm not gonna be able to like be there for him. So if I could at least raise a little money for him in the future for whatever he might need it for, that would be nice. Adriana was and is an amazing mom. Everything she did for Blake. She worked 7 days a week because she got a job in a private school to get half tuition so Blake could go to an amazing school and have an amazing education. Then she worked at the restaurant on the other days / nights. All of her social media was about Blake. She baked his lunch bread every week. She would bake loaves of bread so he would have fresh baked bread for his sandwiches. Like, everything she did it with love for Blake. And I wish she saw, like, how well she was doing. Being a mom is the hardest thing on this planet, let alone a single mom. Although she had an amazing support system, a nice house, she was an amazing mom, there were things throughout her life that she dealt with that were really, really hard, that a lot of people don't have to deal with. And I always told her she should write a book, and I really wanted her to one day. When I was 15 and Adriana was 13, my uncle, Adriana's dad, took his own life. I remember my mom and my brother went to pick her up from school, and they told her her dad passed away. And when she got home, she came downstairs with me, and I was young too, but I had to tell her right away that he took his own life. That's how I felt in the moment. First of all, she asked. She said, "Did he take his own life?" And I told her, yes. Never in my life did I think that we would be telling her 4-year-old that she took her own life. Although we told him it was old age. That morning, my family went to the school psychologist and just asked, like, the best way they should tell him. We did that. He comprehended it like an adult would. It was insane. It was by far the hardest thing any of us have ever had to do. Adriana has been so active in giving us signs. Honestly, not in the past month, but like the first week, it was insane. I talked a lot about that on my podcast episode. It's titled, I Lost My Sister, I think I titled it, because Adriana was honestly closer to me than a sister ever would be. I don't think you guys understand how much we've shared, how much we told each other, and that we texted 24/7. I actually was texting her up until she did it with no idea. Obviously, I know you have to be in a certain like mind space to do that, and a certain head space, but like we were texting. My name was on your phone when it was found. Did I cross your mind at all? And did you realize that it would absolutely like ruin my life as well as the entire family's? Like, what I mean is, it makes me sad. Like, did she think that I just wouldn't care? That this wouldn't absolutely turn my world upside down? And I want to say, for Adriana's sake, because I know her more than anyone, and I know she would want me to say this, it was not drugs. It wasn't an overdose. Me and Adriana texted 24/7, literally. Like, we constantly were just texting the dumbest stuff. Obviously, you have nothing to talk about when you're talking 24/7. So it gets to the point where you're just texting, like, I smell your breath from here. Like, just the dumbest stuff we would text 24/7. I think the hardest day for me is when they stop paying her phone bill and the texts turn green. I want to keep paying her phone. But I know there's some things you just have to let go. As close as I was to Adriana, she told me stuff no one would ever tell anyone. I promise you that. We were next level close. But there were some things that she would never tell me because she knows I would do something about it, like her being depressed. I knew she had a hard life, and I knew she had her struggles, but I guess I just thought she was a lot more like me. I guess I just thought she saw herself for more than what she did. We've talked about it, like, would you ever do that? Especially after her dad, like, she was so against it. She was such an advocate for suicide, and on her social media, she would always post things about her dad and just against suicide. And on her arm, she had tattooed, "If love could save, you would have lived forever." Adriana's best friends and her brother got that tattoo for her. I'm gonna get a tattoo for her, I think. But Adriana was literally half of my personality. Half of the funniness that comes out of me came from her mouth first, and vice versa. We were half of each other's funniness. Literally, she was the funniest person. With everyone, there's always like oh, I don't feel like hanging out with them right now. I don't feel like seeing them right now. That was never in my life the case with Adriana. I spent every single day of quarantine with her, every day of her pregnancy, and it genuinely feels like half of me is gone. There's a certain place I need to get to when thinking to really understand that, like, she doesn't exist anymore. Like, she's not here. My whole entire family is in therapy, and I will one day, when I have insurance. Just talking about it helps so much. Stephanie, my best friend, I don't know what I would do without her. And Sam. There are no words to describe what an amazing friend Stephanie has always been to me. And Sam has been amazing throughout this entire thing. Without them, someone would have forced me into therapy by now. I just really hope that heaven is real and it's not something that we conceptualized to deal with overbearing grief. The only thing that helps is that maybe I'll see her again. We'll be able to go get a coffee again, and it'll taste really fucking good because it'll be in heaven. There's things that don't make sense. Adriana left nothing behind. No note, no reason, nothing. There's no closure. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'll never get it. My Aunt Deb will just look at each other and we'll just be like, I don't get it. Adriana was supposed to be in my wedding one day. She was supposed to be like the godmother of my kids if I ever buy them. I was refusing to show her this apartment. Like, she literally did not know what this apartment looked like because she was supposed to come visit and she was supposed to see it in person. So she never even saw this apartment, which I just wish I fucking showed her. We always said, I'm gonna kill myself to each other as a joke. Like, at the slightest inconvenience would happen and it would be like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. And it's such a habit. And sometimes I'll still say it and I'll be like, ooh, like I gotta not say that anymore. I look back in mine and Adriana's conversations and like the last like week, I would look at like every time she would say like, I'm gonna myself, and I'm like, did she mean it? The last thing I ever texted her, this is so funny but so sad, I texted her, I'm a fat whale, Adriana, and she said, me too, Andrew. And then I said, want to know something? And that's when she did it. She never answered, but I was going to tell her my podcast started doing well because she did it the week my podcast launched. So the last thing I ever texted her was, I'm a fat whale. I think it gets harder before it gets easier. Not that it'll ever be easy. I'm at that stage now where, I'm working again. Everyone's going on about their lives. And I still feel like Adriana just took her own life. How am I expected to stand up right now? I've always been really good about answering texts. But if you've reached out to me anytime since October 14th and I haven't answered you, I'm sorry. I have gotten so bad at answering texts from this. I don't know what the correlation there is, but I don't answer texts anymore. But I appreciate all of the support everyone has given. It has been amazing. And if anyone wants to help more, the GoFundMe is going to be down below. For Christmas, I'm going back to New York for 2 weeks, so I want to film videos with my family. One thing I wanted to talk about quick is a couple days after it happened, I was outside with Blake. We were collecting like acorns or something like that, and we were walking around, and he looked at me, and he was like, my mom died. And I was like, I know, Blake. And he said, but she'll always be your cousin. Or she'll always be your best friend. I don't remember which one he said. And that is just so not something he would say or a 4-year-old would say. And I just know. I know Adriana had to tell him that or something because he never once referred to us as cousins or best friends. I don't even think he knew mine and Adriana's relationship. I was just always there. I just really feel like Adriana must have came to him and told him that or something. If you want more signs and things that Adriana said, go watch the podcast episode because there's some crazy stuff. And that's probably honestly what I'm going to get a tattoo of. It just doesn't feel real that I'm filming this video about Adriana. When I found out my parents had came to visit me that morning and they were with me, we all got the phone call together, and I really feel like God pulled some strings with that one because if I was alone when I found that out, and everyone is saying thank God my parents were with me, because if I had to get that phone call while I was alone, my camera died, I'm sorry, but if I had to get that call while I was alone, me and my parents were the first people my aunt had called, before the cops even got there, everything. We were in the car. When we got the call, my mom was in the back seat. She was on the phone with my Aunt Deb. I can't even explain how that all went down. It was the most traumatizing thing ever. Literally ever. I was driving. I pulled over because the way my mom was like, what happened? I knew something was bad. And then thankfully, the car was stopped when it was said, and I blacked out. Apparently I screamed, so she's dead. I don't know if it was shock or whatever, but my mind just assumed she was alive and she was found, she was caught in the act or whatever. So I'm driving home and I'm like, can everyone just relax? It's fine. She's gonna be okay, because I don't panic until things are definite. I'm always very, very calm. So I'm like, can everyone just relax? And I'm driving home. My dad called my brother because my brother's a detective, although he's becoming a sergeant, so congratulations, Joe. My dad called him right away to go over. So I drive home, we come back in my apartment. My mom was losing her mind and I was like, can you stop? That's what I was saying, because I was like, she's alive. But I was not in my right state of mind. By the way, Zach was in Key West. It's not like he was at work and could have came home. He was far with the dogs. That's why I'm saying that the fact that my parents were here, life-saving. I texted my brother and I was like, how long was she there? Thinking they caught her in a few seconds. And I'm not gonna say exactly what he said, but basically he mentioned that it happened the night before. And I was like, I texted him. I said, wait, so she's dead? And he said, yeah, she's dead. I hope wherever she is now, she's happy. And I hope that she's in this room listening to this right now and she sees what the family's been going through, and I hope she feels like an idiot because we all love you so much. And I hope you felt bad for me on Thanksgiving because, like always, my mom was with my Aunt Deb, Joe was with Michael, and I was alone because you weren't there. Adriana was that person, same person. We shared a brain, we shared a personality, and that's where I've been, here in this apartment and filming my podcast. And the podcast has saved my sanity, my life, my happiness, and I cannot thank you guys enough, those of you who have supported it. I just want you guys to know that I'm okay. It's so tough, but I'm okay. Make sure the people you care about are okay, even if they seem like they're okay, even if they seem happy, even if they're the funniest people in your life. Really make sure they're okay. I've heard so many people on social media say that, on TV, whatever it may be, but I thought I was, but I would go watch the next YouTube video, whatever. But I'm genuinely asking, guys, make sure the people you care about are okay, because I was just like you watching a video like this, and then that happened. Completely blindsided, did not expect it. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. If you guys want to help, donate to that GoFundMe. I'm really, really excited to start posting again and reconnect with you guys, and I hope that there's at least 3.5 of you guys that are still here that will watch them. The algorithm is gonna take a huge fat shit on my face, but we'll get there. I love you guys, and I will see you soon, I promise.